Carla, it's been a long time coming, but we're here. The season is upon us. How does that sound?
Unbelievable. Look, it's been the longest summer. You know me, I just want to play football, play games and prepare for games. So it's been a really long summer, but I think it's fair to say everyone's looking forward to it now.
You've just touched on it there. What has it been like from your point of view, just because it's been such a long summer in comparison to other summers?
I think every manager and coach up and down, the WSL is probably going to say the same thing. It's been the weirdest pre-season. We've had small numbers and then people coming back at different times depending on the World Cup, because it was a late World Cup and I'm not sure you see that in the men's game. So, it's something we had to adapt to, and something that everyone probably has the same problem. So, look, you have to adapt, you have to try new things, but it's been tough in that respect. But like I said, everyone's going to be in the same boat. And now it's how we pull everyone together in these 2 days coming into the season now.
Have you welcomed the fact that it's given you more time to think about the season ahead, or has it left you raring to go?
Bit of both. I'm not sure I welcome a long break. Absolutely not. I can't stand breaks. You know me. I don't particularly like the amount of breaks that we miss the players. So you reflect. Of course we do, but. Now it's just a case of we want to get going. Everyone wants to get going, and we'll get a lot of players back towards the end of the week, ready to go for Man United.
Since we last spoke, you made a few more additions to the squad. What do the signings of Kirsty, Ebbs, and Dree do for the dynamics of the group?
Look, I think first and foremost, they're all exceptional players. They're all very, very good people. People that will bring a lot to the environment, both on and off the pitch. But they had an awful lot of competition because we didn't have a lot of competition last year. Now we've got the biggest squad we've ever had. Never have we ever had 20, 21 players. And that's really important because in every single area, every single player has got competition now. And you've seen that in the games we've had in pre-season. Everyone's played a part in different areas. There's been different questions asked of people. And it's allowed us to really stretch people. And that's really important when you want to kick on.
Two of those three players that I just mentioned featured for their countries in the last week, along with many others in the squad. You obviously deal with international periods throughout the season, but what has it been like dealing with an international break before this opening game of the season? It's
ludicrous. It really is. Let's not dress it up. I don't think there's any manager that says they welcome it, they enjoy it, they like it. I think it's an international break that's not necessary at this point in the calendar. I think it's something that needs to be widely spoken about. But like I said, we're all in the same boat. We've all got to deal with it in the same way. And we'll get the players back in and try and get into them as early as possible, what we need to get done for the weekend.
You've alluded to it there, with there only being a couple of days before the opening game of the season with a full group. What does that period of time look like? Do they learn a lot of what they need to know before they go away, or is it very much fine-tuning?
Yeah, well, obviously those that got to the semi-finals and finals, we got back very late. So when you look at it, come the start of the season, those players might have only had 6 or 7 sessions with the group. So you have to use those sessions really, really wisely. You have to make sure that you get as much information into them as possible, because you're sort of growing over 6 or 7 weeks with those that are here. So those that have just come back, and they come back late for a reason, they've done exceptionally well for their countries. So you have to try and get those bits and pieces into them. And the prep started for Man United a long time ago. So these next 2 days will be about tidying up on everything, all the work that's been done already. And we'll be ready to go.
Heading into Sunday's much anticipated opener, how much do memories of last season's opening game come to mind?
They do and they don't. I think the hurt of that final minute goal that went in against Man United will probably give the girls a bit of added spice. But look, we're up against a top side. We're up against a side that finished second. They've probably had one of the best windows of any WSL side. They've shown with their recruitment and their money spent that they're a team that's clearly going for the title. So we're under no illusions what we're up against. We're under no illusions that we're up against one of the best in the country. And you know what? We've got to go and show that we can compete with that.
You'd probably agree that this time last year, a win over Manchester City made a lot of people sit up and take notice. Will a win this Sunday achieve something similar?
Yes and no. I think it's a long season. I said it even after beating Man City last year. what a performance on the opening day does do is install a belief within the squad. We try not to listen to outside noise. We have our own pressures and demands that we put on each other. You know, we have our own expectations, so we try to keep those within ourselves and not listen to too much going on the outside. But for me, the big thing is let's go and compete. We know we've got quality players. We know we're up against a top side, but I believe we're a top side. So let's go and show that.
A lot of change in personnel with Manchester United over the summer. Is there an element of mystery when it comes to them, or do you know what you're likely to expect on Sunday?
Yeah, I think, look, we've managed to get all of their footage from pre-season, so we've got a good idea of what they're about. I think, as you're well aware, we've had 6 games to prepare ourselves, and those games have allowed us to look at how Man United might set up, how we might set up, and how we might look to combat that. But Man United, like I said, they're a top side that can play in different ways. They've brought in new players, but structurally, not too much will change for them, I'd imagine. So they've had a lot of success playing the way they've played, and that's a credit to Mark and his players. So, yeah, I think that we'll focus on us. We know what they're about. You know, we respect what they've done, but this is about 90 minutes of football that we want to go and try and win. What
will your final messages be to the group in those changing rooms at Villa Park?
Can't tell you that. No, listen, there's a lot of motivation within that group. It helps when you've got a lot of ex-United players as well. Always adds a little bit. But look, the thing I say to them all the time is we're a group that look after each other. We're a group that are together. We run through brick walls for each other. And that doesn't change, you know. We're a wholehearted group. And if we continue to do that, then we'll be just okay.